Are you saying your call to say South Africa first is a wrong call?
It is. It is only those who are threatened by the unity of the Africans who perpetuate a message of hatred.
People are always using a cloud that says, oh, this guy's going to open the borders and hire all the people from Zimbabwe.
So, tell me of a country that is rich because of borders. Oh no, that country is very successful. It's a world-class country because of a fence. They've got a fence. And a fence-led success.
Yeah.
America has got no fence. 54 states under one president, United States of America. Why are they not putting fence for themselves? Why is Europe not putting fence? If fence is a prerequisite for success, for a country to prosper, you need a fence. And even if you need a fence, there is no fence between Zimbabwe and South Africa. McKenzie went, he showed you, there's no fence. There's no fence in Lesotho. Actually, he thought he was exposing that these people have got no fence. We've been took. I said that a long time ago. I said, you're acting like mad people. Well, I'm happy that we are in Alexander. So there was a xenophobic attack here in Alex, where people who were selling somewhere on the streets were removed.
Yeah.
Successfully by those things of Dodula, what, successfully.
Yeah.
And that space was empty for almost 3 days.
Yeah.
And Alexander people were the ones who were complaining that we want to buy tomatoes, want to buy vegetables, and the people have been chased away, the people that we buy from. If that was a genuine issue, why after chasing those people from empty spaces, didn't South Africans go and occupy that space and sell those tomatoes since they took your job and you successfully removed them? So why didn't you go and take the space that those people occupied? So it's not a genuine concern. It's an attack. You know, you look at, you splitting hair because there's nothing you can attack the EFF on in terms of principle. JJ, when we started, this is in our founding manifesto. It has never been an issue. The issue was expropriation of land without compensation. They went everywhere and told people, that was an attack on the EFF. When that was articulated very well and we stayed on it and never got shaken, they moved away. They said they're going to nationalize the banks, they're going to nationalize the mines. We said, this is our nationalization. We established a state-owned mining company that is going to compete with the private sector. This is our nationalization of the banks. We established a state-owned bank to compete with the commercial banks. And you can't say this will destroy the banks. Why didn't public schools destroy private schools? Why do we have private school and have public school?
Parallel, living side by side.
The private schools are still doing business even when there is public schools. Why do we have private hospitals and public hospitals? And private hospitals are making more money even when there is an existence of public hospitals.
So you're saying
who said a public bank will close a private bank? So public mining company will close.
Are you saying your call to say South Africa first is a wrong call? Because if if when I asked Tlabisa about jobs, he's saying their approach to jobs is the South African first. They need to, if there's somebody in South Africa can do the job, don't give that job to a Zimbabwean.
Have you ever listened to me talking about jobs? The EFF thing is jobs. Is land and jobs now. Stop load shedding. And I say, these ANC people sleep with you to give you a job. We're going to stop that. The only requirement you want is to have a South African ID and have the qualifications. South African ID, you South Africa first. South African ID. I don't have to say South Africa first. And I don't have to be anti-Africans. When I say I love my wife, it doesn't mean I hate Sito. No, I say South Africans, you will be a priority in terms of your qualifications and all of that. Because these are their jobs.
But don't you think your message there is not accentuated then? Because people are always using a cloud that says, oh, this guy's going to open the borders and hire all the people from Zimbabwe.
So, South Africans are people who are very open about everything. They would have said to me in the biggest rallies, stop that thing we are talking about. Once I start talking about the love for Africans and how this country must unite the African continent, the whole stadium is receptive. Tell me of a country that is rich because of borders. Oh no, that country is very successful. It's a world-class country because of a fence. They've got a fence. And a fence led to success. America has got no fence. 54 states under one president, United States of America. Why are they not putting fence for themselves? Why is Europe not putting fence? If fence is a prerequisite for success, for a country to prosper, you need a fence. And even if you need a fence, there is no fence between Zimbabwe and South Africa. McKenzie went, he showed you, there's no fence. There's no fence in Lesotho. Actually, he thought he was exposing that these people have got no fence. We've been I said that long time ago. I said, you're acting like mad people. You have a gate, but you don't have a fence. And then you come back at your house without a fence. You open a gate to enter your yard. It doesn't make sense. There is no fence. Africans have moved. It is only those who are threatened by the unity of the Africans who perpetuate a message of hatred. But my last point is, why do you hate me for saying people must unite? I'm not dividing people.
It seems that it's become an election issue, because if you just have to look at what the ANC is doing in terms of the amendment of the Migration or Immigration Act, right? Do you think they are falling into that trap, that they feel the noise of people as anti-African sentiment or anti-foreigner sentiment, and they are now trying to fit into that, strengthen the borders, appoint the border management agency? You saw the border management agency, they were in full force this weekend, etc.
Well, my brother, the 2019 anti-EFF campaign was dishing out title deeds. We don't want to take your land. The title deeds. Even people got title deeds here in Alexander. I'm like, to do what with that title deed? Because it doesn't mean anything. If anything, Alexander needs massive development, not title deeds. So they said that in 2019. We were unshaken about it, and we still didn't win elections. I will never engage in a political expediency. At the altar of a principle. Rather die on the principle with your boots on than to die an amoeba, shapeless. This one pulls you that way, this one pulls you that way. Before we know it, you have got no shape. You are shapeless, and we can't define what kind of animal is this. I'm saying we need a borderless Africa for free movements of people and goods. And that free movement of people and goods doesn't mean undocumented. Because if I didn't want undocumented people, I would have said, don't take IDs, South Africans. What are you doing with documents? All of us have to be identified. And it is documentation that will identify who we are. Even when African state is united, you still have to tell from which state are you. Europe without borders, they're still Italians, they're still Germans, there's still the British who are saying they're exiting that thing.
So you don't believe in this whole thing about illegal immigration? You are saying that the borders must be open enough for Africans to unite?
You can't be illegal in Africa as African. Because if you follow that, all of us in this room will be in danger. Our roots come from there in the continent.
So the whole hype about border management authority, you don't buy it?
I don't care about that. It's a like you said, it's a gimmick. It's an election gimmick. After that, they are going to leave it. The ANC, the ANC, none of these people, except Cyril Ramaphosa, crossed into Africa with a passport. They didn't have any documents. Jacob Zuma, Thabo Mbeki, and them, they went.
I think they've soon forgotten that. And
they're now telling us another story. When they were there, O.R. Tambo was treated like a state president by other African states. But do you know that Nigeria civil servants had a money deducted from their salaries called the Liberation Fund, official from government salaries to finance liberation movements in Africa, including the ANC and the PAC.
So you
For
stand,
us to be
essentially
liberated.
the EFF is going to stand by this principle. You are not going to be swayed by election mode, where people are beginning to say, be soft, be a little bit soft on this whole issue of open borders.
Well, my brother, here's the whole manifesto. You have an issue with one.
Yeah.
What is your problem? Who said you're going to find a perfect woman? Where? She's so beautiful, but she might have those things of being noisy or something, but
Yeah.
I can work on that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing called beautiful. Even DNA,
Yeah.
when you test children DNA, it doesn't say 100%. It said 99,9999. On the basis of that one that is missing there,
Yeah.
this is not my child.
All right.
You sound like a fool if a person argues like that.
All right.
There you have it, guys. Julius Malema is usually full of these revolutionary speeches. Sometimes you wonder where he gets them from. But whatever the case is, we really hope that his wisdom transcends, and really contributes to the development of Africa and in helping solving Africa's really myriad of challenges. But what do you guys think about his speech? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.